All right. How many people do we have in here? We're going to quickly cover Bitcoin at the moment, structure-wise, what's happening, what to expect, higher time frame and lower time frame. So, I mean, nothing has really happened in terms of structure. I mean, this is my lower time frame chart. We tapped into this massive liquidity pool here. We tapped into this massive liquidity pool around here, struck this previous low. This is what we were aiming for. And obviously we've had an impulsive move to the upside, which was pretty much very predictable. And now we are rejecting this previous wick high, 26.8, so standard shorts. I gave the call for that, for the shorts around 26.7 to 26.8. And now we are rejecting a little bit, but on the 2-hour time frame, we can see that obviously we came back down, lost this previous 26.5 level, which is an important level for continuation, seeing as we've had this massive steep upwards trend. So 26.5 was, a matter of fact, very important that we hold this level if we were going to take 27.2 region. But considering we have broken and then we are below it, we are sitting around 26.2 region, around this roadblock here, which acted as a very key level previously, we can see. And we obviously have the downtrend influence here as well. So there's quite a bit of confidence around this region, but at the moment, I mean, this wick just looks very weak. It doesn't look like we're going to hold here currently, but the wick can turn around at any moment. So right now, what we're probably anticipating for Bitcoin is if we do hold this level, we could be seeing a retest of this previous range high here. Before downside, we just create another lower high and head and shoulders type pattern, right? And this could, I mean, in terms of hands, this could possibly play out, right? So if this level holds 26.2 region, we're looking at potentially a retest of 26.5. 26.2 doesn't hold. If I bring up the monthly, we can see the monthly is down here, and this is probably going to be a very strong area of demand. And in terms of open interest and everything else, I'll just give a quick glimpse, seeing as I'm covering it. But in terms of open interest, or rotation, CBD, and everything we can see here throughout this entire drop, right? Longs were liquidated in the market. So the JNI section brought this up when we were at 26.6, and obviously prices dropped and reacted to it. This is how our algos trade all the time. This is basically how they move the market, right? So on this entire drop, longs have been taken out completely, and rotations is slowly going back upwards, symbolizing that maybe we could be having a little bounce soon. However, we can be in green rotations territory for quite a while, right? Meaning that we could just distribute around this range time being before we actually make the move in terms of our rotation. So I mean, if we're looking at it on the higher time frame as well, let me just, this is a very useful platform, but we can see obviously that throughout this entire PA, shorts were just taking out, rotation started flipping green, standard price action started dropping, showing us some more longs in the market. We also had a massive drop in open interest in general as well. CBD hasn't really moved. So we could potentially see a dead cat bounce, which would validate the scenario to retest in 26.5 if we do hold, like I said, the 26.5 region, lose the 26.5 region, and then monthly probably going to get tagged at 1 point, and we'll have to go from there, because if we lose monthly, then there's a very good chance that we're probably going to come down and take this previous wick here and just target liquidity to the downside. I mean, evidently we ain't really bullish. I mean, the news which we had for DXY throughout this week, I mean, I just used DXY a little bit of for a little bit of confluence, but I don't really have it charted up. But we can see obviously is on a very, very steep upwards trend, and it almost seems like Bitcoin to an extent is very delayed at the moment, because I can't remember, there was unemployment claims and there was something else, and they were both very bullish for DXY, and obviously Bitcoin done the inverse move and went up. So typically news is priced in, and the real move will happen delayed. But we can see on the higher time frame, in terms of book structure, we ain't really bullish at all. We are still in a downward trend. We've just tapped this previous level of demand here. Now, what we can see here, right, if I load up a completely brand new Bitcoin chart, this is why quite a few people are a bit bullish, right? So you can see here we've got a typical downtrend movement here, and then we have the similar pattern around this region from here, and people are anticipating that, okay, so we had this wick up, we're going to break, and then people anticipating the exact same thing to happen, which could very much so happen. It would be a triple top like gold, but in terms of time period, I'm expecting us to not reach around 28.5 this month. Let me just quickly change my scales because it's different color. Let me know the new chart as well, because this is just market cap. So yeah, this is why quite a few people are bullish, because they're anticipating a similar breakout to this. And I mean, given the macro, given everything in general, liquidity wise, market sentiment, and everything, it doesn't really make any sense to break out to the upside at the moment. I mean, if we do manage to flip 26.8, we could maybe see a double top here, but I'm expecting this to like play out in October rather than now. But it's definitely a possibility. I don't see us sweeping 30K again this year for the time being. I think the maximum we're probably going to hit on the higher time frame is probably around 29.2-ish region, so around here. I don't think we're going to go higher than this for now. I think we have a higher probability of sweeping fully below this, because as we can see here, we just created this high, a higher high, broken structure, trend lines like around here. So we broke the trend line here. We just came back down, had a bearish retest of the 100 EMA on the daily time frame. We can see here, download the EMA, exact retest, confluence around that area. So that was an easy short. But yeah, we had a retest pretty much of the trend line, had a massive rejection to the downside, broken structure. But in terms of structure, I mean, we are bearish. We are bearish below. Well, so you can see here we're approaching the 100 EMA at the moment, which is around 27.5, and we do have the 200 EMA at around 27K. So we could potentially retest this at some point. But we can see just structure-wise, with broken structure, came back down, and we are retesting this same low. And pretty much this seems like it's going to snap eventually, right? We've tested this level so many times now. It seems like we need to break into a complete new range. I think that's going to happen eventually. You can see one impulsive move, one big move, one, and now it looks like we're having a dead cat bounce, another lower high. So, I mean, I want us to eventually make our way down to this range here before the Bitcoin halving, before we do anything. But anyway, that's Bitcoin at the moment. Well, in terms of what we're looking for at Bitcoin, structure-wise on the higher time frame, still bearish. We're looking at, obviously, if this level holds 26.2, this doesn't hold, we're going to retest the monthly. If monthly doesn't hold, we're probably going to sweep the lows. If we hold 26.2, we can retest 26.5, flip 26.5. We're probably going to break above this wick and retest around 27K, which matches up with the 200 EMA on the daily, right? So
Excuse me.
I'll move on to Ethereum now. Typically, I'm using Bitcoin as confluence when I'm trading Ethereum. So in terms of my chart, isn't well. In terms of lower time frame charting, it's not really based around lower time frame charting because I don't really look at my Ethereum chart. I'm looking at Bitcoin because if my Bitcoin analysis is pretty much going to be correct, then I can almost guarantee that Ethereum is going to be approaching an area of resistance on the higher time frame at the same time. So I'll just use Bitcoin as confluence before I enter Ethereum. So I mean, in terms of structure for Ethereum, on the lower time frame, we've got this trend line, broke below, tapped into an OB, swept partially of this wick, not all of it though, it did go all the way down to, what's that, 1467, and now we are up here. We just basically retested the monthly open, rejected the monthly open, and now we can see that we're back below this trend line here. So even Ethereum structure-wise doesn't look bullish at all. Matter of fact, it looks terrible compared to Bitcoin, because Bitcoin, you can see that it's got some bullish structure to it, right? But if we're comparing to Ethereum, it's like there isn't really anything on the higher time frame in terms of bullish structure here, because it just looks like we've retested and we're broken down. And I mean, until we reclaim something important, then I mean, I'll have to see if 1630 is broken, and then we can maybe retest the monthly again. I mean, I feel a lot more safer shorting around 1664, but like I said, I don't know if that's going to happen. And when Bitcoin reached 26.8, Ethereum only reached 16.45. So Bitcoin would pretty much have to sweep 27K for us to be around this 1660, 1670 region. But yeah, I mean, if Bitcoin loses 26.2 and retests the monthly, which is at 25,950, I'm expecting Ethereum to potentially do something like this and probably retest this wick around here before doing anything. But yeah, Ethereum structure-wise, chart-wise, it's not really bullish either. 2-day looks like a falling 3-penny Macy. Yeah. I would feel a lot more confident in an Ethereum short than a long. Yeah, I've seen that analysis saying in your channel it looks solid. If Bitcoin rejects here, we could see that nice big wick for Ethereum to the downside. I think you're aiming for something like this, and then breakout, something like that. That would be lovely. That would catch quite a lot of people off guard as well. The initial wick to the downside, that would piss everybody off. I mean, what do we see here now? Okay, now we see that Bitcoin's bouncing off this 26.2 region currently. So we might actually get that retest of the upper range around the daily. Wicks, so call it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, 100%. Let's have a look at Nasdaq then. Higher time frame on the daily. What can we see here? Fucking hell, it is quite high, isn't it? Jesus, this is a very steep trend, isn't it? Upwards. Bodies on the 1.37%. Yeah, man, definitely. I mean, that wick, which initially happened all the way to 14.27, caught everybody off guard. if anybody has any altcoin suggestions or anything you want me to cover, let me know and I'll look at them. I know there's been a lot of shit coins pumping left, right, and center recently because of obviously how Bitcoin's been somewhat, I don't know, a bit stable around this upper range. We're seeing some altcoins pop off here and there.
We
But
have
primarily
one Solana.
Solana. Okay, let's look at Solana.
Oh, you have a voice. Amazing.
It's barely there. I'm doing the hot tea and honey, so I may get a couple words out and then it cuts out. Yeah. So
Yeah, in terms of Solana, I did actually have a long on this at 1750. The reason why it was because it was a higher time frame level for a scalp. So we can see here, obviously, one confluence, two confluence here as well. And that was a pretty, like, I mean, given Bitcoin's structure when we were around here, when Bitcoin was dropping, Solana was holding this 4-hour demand for a while, like it wasn't breaking below. So it made me think that, okay, it's probably going to be a good long in terms of that. And from the 4-hour, it's playing out. I'm already out of this position though. I already TP'd it when we hit like 18.5. I didn't anticipate us waking up to 19.3, but that's because Bitcoin wicked up pretty nicely to 26.8. But I only have analysis on altcoins on the higher time frame because I don't really primarily trade them on the lower time frame. So like on the daily, like if I was going to be looking for a potential short scenario, the only place I'd be looking to enter would be like around monthly open, like 19.6-ish, 20-ish region. If Bitcoin, and using Bitcoin as confluence, obviously, I mean on the lower time frame, what does it look like it's doing? It just looks like it's rejecting off this 19.2 mark around this region, and it's retesting this previous wick low, which has definitely got to be a higher time frame level I've marked. Yeah, so it's bouncing off this smaller level at the moment. So I mean, this level isn't going to break unless Bitcoin breaks back down. And Bitcoin breaks back up, this level is probably going to hold for the time being. So I mean, yeah, higher time frame wise, had a long. This was called in for Jedi 17.5. Had this initial wick to the upside. Make my altcoin charts like a bit clean because, like I said, I don't trade them often, so I've only got high time frame levels, which I enter with a nice position because I have simple confluence. But yeah, that's Solana. How can we enter in a trade if we have missed on order block? Well, I mean, if you miss entering a position, then you should just sit out. You don't want to chase the price, right? So I mean, if you miss the position, just don't bother like trying to chase the price. That's where a lot of people fuck up. Believe me, like we've all experienced it, and I'm talking from experience myself. So if you miss your entry, don't try and re-enter because you're just taking a bigger risk if the price breaks to the downside. So I mean, yeah, it's not really worth it. If you miss your entry, just I mean, there's always going to be another opportunity to enter a position. Like there's multiple opportunities. You don't have to be in that specific trade. So like, yeah, don't FOMO into a position if you've missed your entry point. Just wait for another setup, which will eventually happen pretty quickly. TRB, when does the run upwards start? So I've been looking at this for ages. TRB is, let me bring it up on my chart. Where did I chart this coin? I don't know if I did chart it. I have a pretty good understanding of where it's going. Where it's okay. What I charted it somewhere. I don't know where it is though. Okay, I don't know. All right. Well, I mean the TRB same thing we're seeing over and over again with these shit coins, right? We're seeing this massive squeeze to the upside, low market cap, low circulating supply, like it's just so easily manipulated. And like we can see here previously, well, actually, let me load spot so you can see the actual price action from in the past. Yeah, so I mean, should I just go on the weekly? Probably best. Yeah, we'll go on the weekly so we can see the bars. So yeah, I mean, in terms of TRB, it just continues to squeeze to the upside. Everyone's trying to short it. Funding reset. Even if you short the reset, it just continues to go back upwards. Like honestly, shorts are not the way to go at the moment on this coin, just purely because it's just going to continue to go upwards. And the only time it is actually going to reject is when you have a whale dumping a massive amount of fucking spot on the market. And right now, that's not happening. So it's just going to continue to go upwards to like maybe even 44, 45 region. I wouldn't long it to there though, obviously. People who are longing this coin up here are preferably taking a very big risk, but it could be like, I mean, in terms like, well, if we're looking at on the lower time frame, like you would just have to long like the very smallest of dips. Like even if you're trying to short, it only results in a small retracement, then pump back up. Same thing over and over again. So with TRB, it's probably going to continue going up just because it's small supply. Everyone's trying to short it. It's got a decent amount of volume. It's like doing crazy amounts of volume in comparison to its market cap. So like in general, I wouldn't touch this coin for now, just purely because small market cap is going crazy and it's going to continue to go crazy. So I think the only area which interests me at the moment for TRB is probably this high here, and I'll be looking like around this region, honestly, for a potential area of rejection. But there is a good chance that we might get some deviation above this high. And if we get some deviation above, then I will just wait to see how high it goes. And then once I see that initial higher time frame reaction, like that big red candle, that's when I'll be looking for shorts with my like stop loss above the previous deviation wick. So the TRB is probably going to keep going higher. I wouldn't touch it. If the yeah, okay, I'll look at it. If this is actually another strange coin which we're seeing pumping quite. Fuck me, what did this just hit? I didn't even realize. 1 minute.
Aliens.
What did this
Apparently
coin?
they die like us.
Oh wait, this is this is on Binance. All right, let's go on. Let's go. Bybit. That's not it. Yeah, like what can you do with a chart like this? You
I
can't
don't know
really do
what
anything.
trading this is just like nonsense. I mean, there's no
This-
way. It's everything is against you. The mathematics is against you. The fees are against you. The range is against you. I mean,
Yeah, like I
easy.
mean, with this coin, right? It's like there's no point even trying to swing short it, right? Because if I enter, let's say theoretically, I don't know, I enter total position size 10k short, funding fees -2, right? Every
You pay
8
like
hours
2K.
I pay no, I'm paying what 2% of 10k is 200. So I'll pay $200 every 8 hours. So in 24 hours, I'm paying $600 in fees, and there's no fucking guarantee it's gonna drop. It might take 2 days, 3 days to drop. So my fees are gonna like end up being like 4k, and my profit will eventually be 4k, and I'll just break even. So like, yeah, it's rigged in that aspect. Like you can't even swing short these positions unless like you catch the very fucking top of the wick, and catching the top is very difficult when you're trading these coins, right? So like, yeah, everything is against you when you're trading this, because even if you're short and you catch the top, you're gonna get eaten up by fees anyways. Like the only way you can profit off these positions, right, is if you long from all the way down here and then you short, because then that means this long here is going to cancel out the short, the fees above, because you're getting paid funding for your long, and you're getting negative funding for your short, so break even essentially. That's the only way you can do it. So if you ain't long from here, then there's no point even touching these coins because you're just going to get eaten up by fees. It's ridiculous. I actually done a little, I recorded a test video for just educational purposes of me longing before, not longing, shorting before the reset as an educational video. And I paid like small loss just for educational purposes, about $100, just to explain that why you should never short before the reset. Like, never, because you'll just pay massive fees. It's an instant loss. You're better off just trading something else, waiting for, I don't know, Bitcoin or Ethereum to play out, an actual coin which requires a couple of brain cells to trade, rather than this coin where it's just long, like no brain cells with this coin. Like, and you see, the thing is, right, eventually all of these coins are going to end up like Cyber, right? They are going to end up exactly like this fucking coin. But like I said, like if you're trying to swing short, the fees will eat you up the entire move down. If by the time we get down here, like half my fucking profit will be taken in fees, or even more than that. So it's like completely rigged against you. And the only people who actually benefit from this are market makers, because they were the ones who started the fucking pump in the first place. So they're long from down here, and they're probably short from up here. So like they're canceling out the fees. So it's all algorithmic. Like you can't win with these coins, honestly, unless you're scalping quick in and out moves. Then it's just no point even touching them when they're negative funding -2. Like it's just pointless. You shouldn't even trade them. You'll just be taking instant losses. Oh yeah, Cyber, you wanted me to take a look at it. I mean, with Cyber, I'm not gonna lie, I wouldn't be surprised if this has some lower time frame pump, because I mean, Rish, you see, I had a short on this at 15, and I thought, and I closed it like 40. And after I closed, it just completely plummeted. I wouldn't even have got eaten up by fees on this short, because funding fee just dropped so fucking badly. It would have just been a disgusting short to the downside. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if, I mean, you can see, I wouldn't be surprised if TRB does have a little bounce, because it, I mean, shit coins are going up, so I mean, you kind of want to predict what one's next. But then again, I mean, we can see here, maybe it will develop some steam if it does something like this, but then maybe something like that on the lower time frame, higher time frame, maybe here it starts developing more steam like that. But in terms of that aspect, with TRB, it could have a bounce, or it could break below. So it's 50-50 at the moment. If it breaks up with momentum, we can break to the upside. You can try your luck using fibs. I mean, no, even you see, even okay, look, this, I'll give you an example, right? So look, yeah, say I use the fib projection, right, from with Cyber, yeah, I'm stopped, I'm stopped, I'm stopped, I'm stopped. I just get stopped the entire move upwards. I take 4 rails in a row. So like, even fib projections with these coins don't work. Like sometimes they do. Believe me, I've tried everything. Sometimes they do, but when you see a parabolic coin like this moving, sometimes they're just pointless. You can't even really predict where it's going to stop.
It works on large capital markets, right? Because why they work? Because everyone uses them. So here, even if you use them, the market maker is more powerful than you injecting money, the liquidity, and taking out the liquidity from the market. So there's no point in using FIPS here. It's just aggressive tactics.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I mean, you'd have to really dive deep into figuring out where it's going to reject, like tracing all this other shit. And to be quite honest with you, I can't be bothered for
do
that
some
shit.
Ayahuasca or something, DMT, to get
Yeah,
to the spirits.
I can't be bothered, honestly, with doing that with these coins. So I just, I mean, that's where the money's been going though recently. Shit coins just pumping left, right, and center. Like, in general, it's just quite boring. We did have a nice little bounce on Inge. LTCs. I mean, this is a good spot buy. In terms of high time frame, ideally I'm looking for like 40 to 50 region. I did have a small long in it at 59 at one point, but I think I closed it for some reason. I don't know why. I was anticipating to sweep this low, but it didn't do it. But LTC is going to be a good buy.
Can you check the arbitrum?
Okay. I was talking. While making positions on the order block, where should your stop loss be? Preferably below it. If it has a break of structure and then is invalidated, that's where your stop loss would be. Link also looks a good spot. Yeah, Link is also good. What did you say, Velo? What do I want me to check?
Arbitrum.
Oh yeah, I've seen this coin. It's down badly. There's
But
quite a lot
this-
of coins. Ape is,
this is-
oh my god.
Ape is like going near to my target to get some spot and to get spots around 0.9 for me.
You know what? This looks like.
This is it.
I mean, let me remove these.
This is allegedly gonna make you a lot of money in the bull market. This coin.
Oh wait, what the fuck? This is AR.
Oh.
I typed in ARB and oh my god. Whatever. Alright, here it is. Alright. I mean,
bullish, right?
You know what?
I'm thinking to buy a chunk of it.
No, I think it is going to go up as well.
Everyone is into it, I mean, from the market makers.
Right. Wait, what is this percentage? 80%. Alright. Probably going to be a good buy.
And optimist as well. Look over here, top coins.
Oh yeah, this was my plan for OP. Yeah, I see that. Yeah, this was my plan for OP. I don't know though, because Bitcoin wicked up. And we might actually retest this first. And then I'm going to trigger short for this move. This is what I think is going to happen with ARB, to be honest. I don't think alts have bottomed yet. Most of retail, and you ask, do alts look like they're a good buy? They'll all say yes. And that gives me, like, that tells me that, okay, so if everybody thinks they look like good buys, maybe they just drop lower. So, like, I wouldn't be surprised if OP drops to, like, $1 below $1. I'll probably put some spot bids maybe, just in case there's some wick which happens like this one here. This was, I don't know, that was FUD with what's it fucking called, SEC or whatever. That was a fucking this was only bought by literally people who had limits from here, big limits. It just fucking teleported upwards. So I mean, I think limits, or in terms of spot, like not, I wouldn't put. Someone's mic.
Got it.
like we're in terms of futures, I wouldn't put futures bids. I'd just put spot bids because spot can't get liquidated, so you're pretty much safe. You can just fucking hold it forever if you have to. But this was my plan for OP. This was given the fact that Bitcoin is going to slow bleed all the way down to 23K ish. But I mean, given the market at the moment, maybe OP doesn't actually go down to here. Maybe it goes down to just here again, 108 ish. Because alts are holding up a bit more better at the moment, like in terms of everything. XRP is also going to be a good buy. I haven't really.
I miss it. The entry. I mean, I had the entry at 0.36 and I sold at 0.42. 43. I made a good chunk of, but then it mooned.
I actually remember when they had this big pump here. Chento said to long, and I longed it at 55, and I fucking closed there like 60. And it was a big position as well. I would have just fucking made a ridiculous amount. And the thing is, I wouldn't even have got liquidated because it was just one straight line up. Like you literally could have. This is where I basically longed, right around 55, around this high, and if you just full pull max leverage the entire fuck out of this, you would have just you wouldn't even have got liquidated even on 100x up here. Like this is where you get fucked pretty much. But XRP is going to be a good buy. Then once again, people who bought this were just massive whale spot buyers. I think that DeFi Squared on Twitter made a couple million off this when it whipped down to here via ARB. That guy's a fucking machine, man.
He's very good on chain.
Yeah, he's a big boy. 20 million in 1 year.
He's not trading charts. He's trading
on-chain shit. Yeah.
On-chain shit.
I mean, it makes sense because when you're trading with that amount, you need to involve a lot more things in terms of that type of fundamentals. I mean, I need to buy for spots for October. I mean, you see, September's supposed to be red just from historical price action, and obviously at the moment, it's I believe it's green. Let me type it. Historical price action. BTC. Where the fuck is it? Wait, historical price returns. What is it called? What's coin glass? There. All right. So, I mean, if you do the math right, September. Okay, if you do the math all the way from 2013 all the way to 2022, like we have an 81% probability of being bearish. Right now we're green. So like 81% probability of being red in September. Right now we are green. Because obviously we're above. I mean, when we wicked down to this previous low, we were like minus 4% on Bitcoin. And I mean, October, we can clearly see that it's historically green. So we can probably expect the same thing. But if September ends up being green, then October will be red, vice versa. September goes red, October's green. If September goes green, then October red.
Any other questions, guys?
Yeah, I need to drink a bit of water. Like in terms of price predictions with Bitcoin and Ethereum, price predictions are very difficult, but like around the time period, like is where I'm going to be buying, because when we get, how can I explain it? Like with historical price action, I can see how prices reacted in the past, compare it, and then I know whereabouts where I'm going to buy. So a Bitcoin could be at, I don't know, 25K, 20K, 18K, wherever it is within that time span of accumulation, that's where I'm buying. I don't care what the price is. I'm buying within that time span. But it's a good price to buy spot Inge at. I mean, with Inge, let's look at Inge. Do we look on the daily? What can we see? No wonder. It's got momentum because it's breaking out a bit. I would probably see, then again, like in terms of price, I don't know exactly where Inge is going to be. I know that within a specific time span, that's where I'm going to be accumulating. So like the Bitcoin halving is in April, so that's roughly around 200 days, and then 2-3 months after the halving is where we have the initial big pump, right? 2 to 3 months after the halving, right? And then we pump. So after the halving, you still have a bit of time to buy, but if you want to be extremely safe, do it before the halving, just to be safe. Obviously, in the Jedi section, I'm going to say exactly when I'm buying because I want to focus on my entries. But if you want to be safe in terms of spot, then I would buy before the halving, like 1-2 months, because then you can guarantee yourself um, that the price is going to move upwards within the next like 3, 6, 12 months, and you'll be safe that way, knowing that the price is actually going to move from where you bought. You like, I know there are a lot of people who are impatient. So like, I mean, if you buy a spot here and let's say Bitcoin just goes like to here and starts doing this shit, psychologically your brain is going to think, okay, I might as well just sell and buy lower. And whilst you're selling, some other guy's buying, and then you're going to end up buying when we're up here or something. So if you're not patient, just buy 2 months before the Bitcoin halving and wait like 6 months to 1 year, and that's it. If you are patient, then you can get better entries like now, but if you want to be safe, then just wait. So, guys, we're going to figure out a way of picking a winner for the free Jedi roll. All right, I found the site we're going to use. We're going to input everybody's names into a wheel, and we're going to spin it, and that's who the winner is going to be for the Jedi role. So let me quickly go through everyone's names. Can Win still join the private channel today? We're only giving away one spot on this stream for the Jedi role. It includes a lot of exclusive things. I mean, signups are closed, so they'll reopen preferably around 3 weeks, 4 weeks from now. If anybody wants to or is interested. So let me just quickly type everyone's name in, starting from the top. This will take a while. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, right, I'm kind of a bit of a nerd because I practice my typing.
Oh,
Let me scroll down.
it should be an easier method. Yeah, same fact that one, like sharing the link.
Yeah, we got to double check to make sure that some of the people we're adding to the wheel are not already in Jedi.
Oh yeah. We'll do that afterwards. Scrolling down.
I know. You're right, Eddie. That's what sent me. But Kila wants to show us his skills while typing.
No, I'm just doing this because this was a fair suggestion.
Uh-huh.
Wait, I know Run the Scissors has Jedi and so does Rolton. So I just remove it from the list. I'll just remove it.
Yeah, we got to remove them so that it betters the odds for the other people,
I'll just type everything in and then
come
go
through it.
quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're good on time, so speed demon or type demon. I'm sitting here watching my screen. I'm like, yo, is there lag or is this guy really going that fast? Like, what's going on? Like maybe it's buffering, then in catching up. I was like, oh, he's actually typing that fast.
I can't. I know Sniper's in here, but I think that's the only thing. I'm just gonna put Sniper. All right, we'll scroll to the top of my list. I'll quickly double check.
Yeah.
Okay, 7 Win has
it's Jedi.
Yeah.
Aaron.
Aaron has Jedi as well.
Oh my god, this is gonna take a while.
AKA Crypt has Jedi.
Let's do the Twitter thingy. I think it's gonna take a while.
I'm quite quick.
Okay. Like building suspense, right?
Yeah. And it's gonna all end in like 5 seconds. All right. What are you gonna do? Like a Twitter randomized tweet?
Mm-hmm. Twitter picker. you put people to retweet, and then you put that in the Twitter feature, and you're gonna choose one.
Yeah, I'm nearly done.
If you have Rolton on there, you got he needs to be taken off the list too.
All right. I'm done.
Make sure you don't have Rolton on there.
Oh wait, fuck us.
That works.
Padawan.
How ironic is that? How ironic is that? Oh my gosh.
You're always talking about that patient young Padawan.
One?
The
No
force is
way.
strong with this one. He wielded the force. He made the wheel spin.
Seriously, someone named Padawan?
Yes.
Welcome to the club, buddy.
Welcome. Yepa.
There you go.
This is like fate. Padawan is the Jedi now.
Now, where's my? I included everybody's names when I ran down the list, so if someone new joined, then
What's the cleaning when accounts created today are doing? Maybe they just discovered Discord.
I mean there are going to be more type of, I don't know, Jedi things like this, like giveaways, but they're not going to be like frequent. They're going to be like once in a blue moon for people who tune into the streams. So I mean, because we do have obviously, well, spots are filled up completely now, and Jedi role only opens till next month. So yeah, we do have around 60 Jedi's, so we have a good amount of people. I can show. Wait, should I show a little bit of the Jedi part or no, Vala?
Sure, yeah, why not? It's not like the idea in the Jedi section is not about the course, it's about our daily interaction and growth.
So yeah, so part of the Jedi section, we have well, anybody who joins, they have, well, they can create a journal which everybody can comment, have feedback on, and follow everyone's setups, give feedback, learn from each other. That's the whole like scheme of um, being part of the Jedi section, learning from each other, giving each other feedback, building like a small inner community circle where we're all primarily focused on one thing. So everyone has their own journal to like put their trades, give each other feedback on, and all this. And then obviously we have Saint section. So giving his calls as well. Primarily Ethereum calls. I believe you have a short on Ethereum, don't you, Saint, at the moment?
I do.
Streams, obviously.
Yep,
Yeah.
I do.
We have the chats, questions, and obviously the classes where he's going over a lot of very important topics in terms of trading. So developing trading strategies, terminology. Obviously, everybody knows Saints for harmonics, so harmonics cheat sheet and everything. So this is all exclusive things in here in terms of questions and everything important which you really need to, which are very important in trading in general, the psychological aspect in all of this. So I mean, yeah, and then we obviously have my section. Still got a few more things to fill out. So in terms of market's still got a lot of very important things to fill out in terms of my trading strategy and everything, which allows me to be consistent as well. How I'm able to like front run trends, read trends before everybody else, and stuff like that. So we have all these different sections as well. The chat where we all interact. I have my chart showing as well. All that stuff. Altcoin calls, obviously. Actually, I'll go through one of my altcoin calls just to give you a little gist. So there's one perp, 1.3 all the way down to 60 cent. So stuff like that, that's part of the Jedi section. So there's a lot more like focused exclusivity, knowledge, education, just in general. You can learn a lot from being in that section, but as I said, sign-ups are closed and they'll only reopen till next month. News. Well, there's another stuff. Yes, at the moment, guys, all like the sign-ups and everything is closed for Jedi's with full-on positions. So primarily, we have 60 students, and obviously there's a lot of time dedicated into the Jedi section. Don't get me wrong, like I'm still posting public calls. So is Saint. We're all still doing like free calls and everything. But in terms of education, understanding the market, developing your own strategy, consistency, learning how to basically be independent in a way. That's what Jedi is about primarily. So you not only get calls, you'll get everything you need essentially to develop your own strategy and stuff. But yeah. And actually, a matter of fact, a lot of the Jedi's are doing extremely well. I'm seeing a lot of positive feedback and everything. Take a look at EGO. All right, I'll take a look at EGO. Fucking hell. Okay, this is the Bybit chart. Let me try a load of spot chart, which it shows all of the PA. Alright. EG, fucking hell, this is down pretty bad. Jesus Christ. Yeah, like even this structure-wise, like it's broken below the previous lows. What can we see from this price section here? We can see, let's mark this level. So we probably bounced off this level, to be honest with you. Okay, we didn't quite reach it. You know what? I think, well, based on TA and everything, like the only visible level on EGLD is literally this level here on the daily. There isn't. I mean, let's go to 2 hour and skip over. Maybe we see. Oh fuck my life, man. This account doesn't have. All right, whatever. On the daily, yeah, the only level's around 20.6 for EGLD. Yeah, Jedi filled up fairly quickly in terms of members. There's a lot of educational things, which is like only people who are part of Jedi see how much info and everything and time is put into it to build it to what it is. So it's not just about trading and calls, even though that is offered. Is more or less about teaching you how to trade yourself. And like how to mark the charts and everything, and use certain areas of confluence to your advantage when you're trading to minimize your losses and everything. And like if you compare what's in there to most discords, I mean, you won't find anything like it anywhere else.
Because most discords are giving just calls.
No, they are. It's like they're giving calls, but they're also giving like cliche copy and paste textbook analogies and knowledge. Whereas
because they do not care. They have, for example, let's take Watch Group is 250 per month. They have like maybe at least maybe one good trader, and rest are just spot on leverage calls. Like, I mean, there's close to none. I mean, if you go there, you just watch the calls and you just see the brags in the chat. I mean, in their corners, how they making money. And you as a newcomer or as a retail that joining a paid Discord group call, you're gonna, in the long term, you're gonna lose money, pay the subscription to, pay the fees to the exchanges. And I mean, the idea is to preserve the money, first of all, people to understand how to keep the money, then understand what it means to trading, because jumping out in position in leverage and everything is just gambling. So
exactly,
you'll find yourself in a 2-year, 4 to 3-year journey in learning about how to trade, and you're gonna look about all the strategies around you, and you're missing the most important piece: your risk management, your position size, and the emotions that you need to tune in order to succeed to this trading journey. Most traders are learning from blowing their accounts in like 3 to 4 years. Then they start to realize, I need to do something with my positions. I need to do something with my risk management. I need to do something with my, how do I think money works for me in the long term? What are my plans in the next 12 months with my money? Because you're playing with money basically. Now you can have 30K, have a bad trade, and your entire port can be reduced to, I don't know, minus 50%.
yeah, I see. Yeah, I agree with what you're saying. It's like in terms of value, there's a lot more value which is provided here. You can see the time which is put into everything in terms of explaining and everything in general.
We're pushing everyone to be a trader and actually work themselves and prove themselves in front of everyone that they can, I know, pay attention, learn. I mean, if you're coming here and just planning to take calls and make money, just do not join. It's waste of your time. You might make money, I do not say that, but on calls, but you should be able to pay attention and understand what it takes to make the money by yourself and feel proud by yourself because you're actually doing yourself, of course, with the influence of others like you and with Killer or Saint, but it's actually a good practice. And for example, this practice, Saint or Killer is doing like more than 10 hours a day, each day. This is a Friday, tomorrow is a Saturday, basically around. Yes, local. The segment is closed. We're gonna open next month, and we're gonna see how many spots were open because we are trying to form a group of profitable traders rather than just signing up everyone. Is going to be a mess. We're just trying to build something more like serious, not oriented towards money because I could make open everything and just snatch money, right? I mean, do the math. 50 JDAs aren't that much. And the idea is to when we see the feedback that our members grow, we're going to expand more to numbers. But I want to grow organically and normally and be able that we're going to have success as a group. Because if you guys sign up and you're losing your money and do not train and you do not join our streams or see the teachings, I mean, and I have 20 people like that, and I'm seeing they're losing all their money. It's like, why you are even here? I mean, this is not our goal.
Very few understand that knowledge is worth more than money, because with the
most of the guys don't go. I mean, we have like 1K to 2K active traders like on Scalp X on a daily basis, right? And they're losing hundreds and and they do not invest in their education, and they think this is just like a quick skill that you can learn. And harsh reality, they either quit in 6 months or they just keep losing money in the years to come because they do not understand what's going on.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I mean, there's nothing wrong with taking calls, but like, you see, it's like you're not expanding your knowledge, and it's like you're not understanding or thinking for yourself, and that's important. So, I mean, investing in your education and understanding of the market is a lot more beneficial than taking a few calls here and there, making a bit of money, and then eventually losing it. Whereas if you invest in your education, you can make profit along the way with the calls, and you can learn at the same time. So it's like you're building experience whilst taking calls at the same time. You understanding the charts more. You're understanding what I'm looking for, what Saint's looking for when he's entering a position, stuff like that. So, like, I mean, it's understanding why we are looking at that specific entry point rather than just, oh, enter here, TP here. Like, if you understand why we are obviously entering around that range, that's what we are like pushing for, like understanding the psychological aspect of everything. So, I mean, yeah, there's still calls, but I mean, primarily it's focused on educational aspect. Interesting. You know what? SPX. Okay, so what is it? All right, it's Friday. SPX looks like it's gonna close 1% red. Nasdaq nearly 2% red. Okay. What I think is going to happen over the weekend. Well, weekend thin order book, easily manipulated, probably not going to move. And when we do move, it's going to be a big move up and down. So I'm going to use SPX in terms of confluence here. So you can see the SPX, massive red candle. Nasdaq, massive red candle. DXY is obviously still bullish structure. Dow Jones down. All right, so in terms of indices, everything's red, and crypto is still primarily holding up pretty well. So what I'm probably looking for is, in terms of narrative, people are going to come from indices over the weekend to crypto, and they obviously anticipate that crypto is going to react the same way indices did. SPX down, crypto down, right? And what's going to happen is going to cause a massive flood of short positions in the market. And then when that happens, we're likely probably going to see a scam wick followed by a massive dump. So the first move is going to be the wrong move. But yeah, I mean, if we look at time periods, Saturday and Sunday, we are just primarily doing something like this. And then what happens is just like that, and then that, and then we'll just go back to doing that until Monday, when London's open. So, like, I mean, that's primarily the PA we literally get on the weekend. Just move sideways, build up liquidity both directions. Everybody from equities comes over to crypto, starts building shorts because SPX closed red, scam wick up, scam wick down, takes out both positions. So, I mean, that's just your standard price action. At this point, trading weekends just very simple. All you've got to do is wait, and just wait for obviously high time frame demand or resistance. That's all you've got to do really. It's like other than that, you're just wasting your time trading within that weekend range. You might as well just not trade at all. if that's what you're gonna do. Yeah, I think crypto is gonna actually break. I think there's a lot of liquidity built up below 26K. I think that we're going to take some of that out eventually. We might get that retest of 26.5 first. I've learned a lot of things just by understanding it. So, yeah, I mean, you'd be surprised, like with how well copying or even just looking at someone's chart does. You just start to understand. Okay, so why is that level holding, or rejecting off that level? And it's not just like your typical support and resistance. Like it's multiple areas of confluence, right? So like what you're looking at now, you are seeing a simple, well, in my eyes, a very simple chart, right? Very understandable. But you see, there's different fundamentals which I'm looking at before I place a trade. So you're probably thinking, okay, I could have just placed a short here at the top of this wick and been in a nice profit, in which you could from a TA perspective. But I'm not just looking at it from analysis. I'm looking at it 1 minute, my chart, my screen just went blank. All right. So I'm looking at it from this perspective, a more advanced perspective in understanding. Okay, so if I combined my TA with the order book and everything, I can get maximum amount of confluence before entering a position. So like when we wicked up to 26,880, there was an obvious stop hunt, and I'd see that the rotations is just a short squeeze, and then we can expect to bleed down. Exactly what happened, and since then we've just been going down. So it's like I'm using multiple areas of confluence. Like there's a lot of different things which happen behind the scenes in terms of when I'm entering and exiting. So it's not just simply entering here for the sake of it. It's involving other things as well. All right, that was the stream for today. Hopefully you all enjoyed, and the next stream will be next Friday, I believe, around the same time. We're going to make it a weekly thing in terms of streaming on Friday, giving like a little overview of everything. All right, I'm going to sign out. So I'll catch you all later.
Catch you later, guys.
Hope you all enjoyed, and yeah, peace.